Welcome, everyone. You are back with the Squeaky Floorboard Society. I am Sage.
I'm Megan.
And you're back. We are in our last actual case for season 2 of Small Town Big Haunts, which is pretty exciting. But before we get into our last story, do you have any small talk?
Well, obviously we're going to date this episode a bit by saying this, but it's the 4th of July. I worked today because, workers like us who work at the grocery store are what America's all about, really. We were grilling hot dogs today, though, because I work at a Kroger branch, so they grill out during the summers. So I got to eat 2 all-beef hot dogs and drink an Arnold Palmer.
And Arnold Palmer sounds so good right now.
And when I tell you I still have one. Sat outside, ate my hot dogs, went back in, picked some trolleys, My neighbors, I sent you a video last night, I think. I couldn't remember if I sent you a picture or a video.
It was
My
videos.
neighbors last night were already going absolutely bananas. They must have bought the entire fireworks store. It went on and on and on and on. It was beautiful.
I love fireworks.
Extremely loud. You should move to my house.
I like the ones where they I don't know how to just what they are called, but they are sparkly.
Yeah, they had a bunch of those.
I love those.
Yeah, those ones that stream up in the little curly Q.
And and then they're
razzle dazzle everywhere. Yeah, they had those. They had every firework. I swear to God, they shot off El Diablo 4 different times.
I love fireworks.
I love fireworks. Look, I love the 4th of July. My feelings about America are complex, right? I feel like most of us are at this point.
Yeah.
But for me, I love America because nowhere else in the world would you get the mix of people you get.
That is true. So last year, we were down in Washington, D.C. for the 4th of July. We got to watch the actual, fireworks and everything, which I think, what's crazy? We've been recording for a year.
Oh, shit.
We've been recording. In a couple months, it'll be where we actually uploaded, but we've been recording for over a year now.
That's so crazy.
Because I remember telling you that we went down to the 4th of July.
Went to DC, yeah.
Yeah, we were down there, and I got to watch the fireworks and everything. That's so crazy. That just hit me that we've been doing this for a year.
I didn't even think about that, but now that you mention it, yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, so everybody make sure you leave your hot dogs out for Jennifer Coolidge tonight.
My small talk is less fun and maybe a little bit funny.
Okay.
So I've been on SSRIs before.
Mm-hmm.
And I never had any issues with heat intolerance. Didn't have any of that. Mm-hmm. The one I'm currently on, I can't do heat at all. The second that my body temperature rises slightly, I start pouring sweat.
Yeah, I get it. I've been on steroids all this week for my Crohn's disease. I'm extra hot and sweaty too.
I texted my husband on Thursday because we were off on Friday. And I said, hey, what bills do we have coming out this weekend next? And he was like, electric and Comcast. Why? And I said, cool. Can I buy something? And he was like, what is it? And I said, I just need to know what my limit is. And he goes, well, I can't give you a limit if I don't know what you're getting. I was like, well, it really just depends on the model. So I convinced him to finally say yes without telling him what it was. And I went and got a pool. I came home, immediately went to drop my stuff off, and then got my purse and went to the store and got a swimming pool. But I put that thing, so you're in the Midwest, I'm out on the East Coast. We had, and I'm sure a lot of you who are in America knew, we had a fucking heat wave.
Mm-hmm.
So it was 100 yesterday, and it felt like 115, and I was out in direct sunlight building this fucking pool. It took me 6 hours. I was sweating so bad within 2 minutes of being outside that I had to take so many breaks just to sit down because I literally was I couldn't breathe. I was pouring sweat, but I got it filled. And then by midnight last night, my pool was filled with water. This morning, Dennis went and put all the chemicals in it, checked the did the strip. Everything was fine, and we went for a swim.
And was it great? Was it everything you hoped it would be?
It was so awesome. It's not like a huge pool. It's a 12-foot pool, and it's 33 inches deep. So it's not like,
It's a pool.
yeah. And I was like, we're not like trying to do flips and stuff like that.
I can't imagine either of you doing a flip into a pool.
So we were like, 33 inches is perfect. But now he wants to save at least $1,000 for next year to get like a big above ground pool.
That's kind of what we're thinking about doing is we want to get, probably not this summer, but if we decide to stay at this house, we're probably going to get an above ground pool, but Daryl's really pushing for an in ground, which I don't want to do. It's so much more money.
Yeah.
But he wants an 8-foot deep pool. I said, no, I'm not doing an 8-foot deep pool. Are you insane? It can go 4 to 6 feet.
Yeah.
On a slope. That's normal. He said, but I want 8 feet. I said, why the hell do you need 8 feet of water?
Yeah.
You want an 8-foot deep pool, you pay for an 8-foot deep pool.
Yeah. Well, we're going to eventually have a big one. He wants to to tear down our back porch so that we can put the pool there and then build our deck around the pool.
Yeah, I can see that. That's if we go the above ground route, we're going to build a deck around it.
So, but I'm excited nonetheless. So we were out there for like an hour and a half.
I'm excited for you.
So like because I told him I was like, no, we can go after I finish recording the episodes because I don't want to have chlorine hair.
But
yeah, I have chlorine hair.
It looks good though.
I made my curls more pronounced, so that's awesome.
That's the secret, everyone.
Chlorine.
We're about to get absolutely lambasted by the curl community.
We are. To be fair, okay. I don't take care of my curls. I don't. I will be 100% honest about that. As you could tell, I don't take care of them like I'm supposed to. And I thought for sure that it was going to look like shit getting out of the pool because I know what chlorine does to curly hair. But for the moment, it looks nice. And so we're just going to accept that.
I have that like horrible Irish wave in my hair where the ends of my hair are still completely like fucking straight, but I'm like wavy in through here.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about that.
That's how my dad's hair is.
I get a cowlick right here. And so the middle of my bangs always looks way shorter than the rest of my bangs, no matter how evenly I trim them.
My hair, I don't take care of.
I do take care of my hair, and it still looks like shit.
Much like how I don't wash my face with like soap, I just use water. I don't do anything for my hair besides wash it with shampoo and conditioner, and I don't even look at the brands.
I only use one brand of shampoo.
It's just whichever one's on sale. We either have Tresemme, Aussie, sometimes we have Suave. It just depends.
You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb, though, and say that part of the reason you can do that is because you have decent hair genetics. Someone like me who doesn't, I have to be careful or I'll just be bald.
I have, so and also, like, you guys probably can't tell, I have really thin hair. Like, really, I have a lot of bald spots. Thanks, OCD. So I have like really thin hair, so I feel like if I'm picking it, why am I gonna take care of it that well?
I had really thin hair I still have pretty thin hair, but it's better than it was.
It looks a lot healthier because I remember like
and it's gotten long.
It has. I feel like it's been a long time since I've seen you with like longer hair. Because I feel like there for a while you were like not like a bob, but you just like.
No, I kind of had a bob. I was kind of rocking the bob. This is hair related, but not our hair related. Did you see the pictures from Taylor Swift's wedding?
I have not. I've seen pictures of people's outfits, and someone was asking what was the theme.
The only picture I've seen from the wedding is one picture of Taylor Swift, and her bangs are an atrocity to God.
Are they?
It's like they just get larger every time I see them.
I'm gonna look up a picture.
I don't know how she's doing that. This is the greed of capitalism manifest. She cannot get enough of her bangs. She's stealing bangs from the rest of us.
Okay.
Did you find a picture of
Yeah,
her
I
fucking
did.
hair?
I did.
What's up with those?
That is a lot of bangs.
She's got a lot of bang. She got bang blindness. Look, I'm not saying I have the best bangs in the world, but they sure as hell don't look like
I'm
that.
confused by, is he wearing a bow tie or a tie?
I don't know. I've not seen Travis Kelce, but I heard Adam Sandler officiated. He couldn't decide. He said both.
I was like, what am I looking at here?
Do,
I just like smelled my hands in it. Guys, I like soaked my husband in sunscreen. I got it in his eyes. But my husband did not burn. So I think that's a
that's a
win.
yeah, that's a plus. I have a little bit of a sunburn like on my chest right now from being
I
in the
don't
pool.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to if you're gonna be able to see it this lighting. But like I was only out there for about an hour and I have like can't really see it on here. But like a crazy tan already. And
Can
I'm
you
so
see?
happy.
Can you see my tan line?
I don't
Probably not.
we're just
But
gonna be sending each other pictures after.
it's it's not it's not huge, but like I don't know. I can tell my arms are tanner.
I This is like the only part I love about summer is like pools and like being tan.
I don't even care about being tan that much. I can't swim. I'm not huge on the pool, but I like the idea of it.
Ours is like again, it's only 33 inches, so like we just spend like we spent the entire time like laying down, but like on the bottom of the pool, just like walking around with our hands. It was great.
But like, who cares? You're having a good time.
We were, he was, so we put it in our front yard because it's like the most level area. And he was like, well,
Right.
aren't you going to be worried what the neighbors think? And I said, it's 115 outside. You think I give a fuck what they think?
The neighbors probably want to come in your pool.
Yeah. So I was
That's
like,
what they think. They think, God, I wish I had that.
yeah, because it's been miserable.
No,
We've
it's been
been
miserable here. And
just
I
like,
had to do I had to do car side a whole bunch. Taking people's groceries out. We had somebody order 20 packs of 24 count waters.
that's,
Did they get out of their car to help me? No. Did they tip me? No.
oh my God, that's so much
And
water.
it's a black parking lot and it's hot as fuck and it's humid.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, don't you come back." I didn't say this, but I thought, "Oh, don't you ever come back here again."
It's I like when it's like I can handle when it's like in the 80s. I don't like
Right.
it. I live my best life at when it's like high 60s. That's like my
Low
perfect world.
80s. Low 80s.
But I can handle 70s and 80s. Do I like it? No. But fucking it feeling like 115, fuck that. No, I can't.
Your ancestors were not from the South.
No, we were from the Great Plains. We were from up north.
You're not built for this.
I'm not, and my husband's not built for sunlight. I
I
married
don't
a
know.
vampire.
My ancestors are from Eastern Europe, so I might actually be a vampire. And Daryl, I mean, he's part native. He's like a quarter or an eighth or something. But I don't know where his tribe was from.
I'm not entirely sure. But, you know,
He's
it's
either Blackfoot or Blackfeet. I know there's different. They're two different things, and I don't know which one it is.
I don't know. I know about my tribe, and that's about all I know. But it's so funny that we're talking about where I'm from because
Mm-hmm.
today we're traveling to my home state.
You like how I set that up for you?
I do. I love that.
Do I get a
So,
segue point?
yes, you get a segue point. I was like touching something with my toes, and I was like, "What is it? It's a charger." All right. So this place is actually across the state from where I'm from. So in the Lakota language, deadwood is meant to be like approve or confirm something. So it was named by early settlers after the dead trees ground in its gulch. The city had its heyday from 1876 to 1879 after gold deposits had been discovered there, leading to the Black Hills Gold Rush. So I will say that like I'm from like I'm from the Lake Traverse Reservation, which is like almost on the border of North Dakota and is that Wisconsin that's right there or Wyoming. What state's next? Minnesota?
Okay, North Dakota. I think Wisconsin's over here. It's either Wisconsin or. Let me just look it
Let's
up
look up at
before
a
we.
map.
Let's look at a map of the United States. I just got your text.
Minnesota. It's Minnesota.
I knew it was either Wisconsin or Minnesota.
Well, Wisconsin's next to Minnesota, so we were close.
Who cares about fucking Minnesota?
But I'm like in that area, like in the corner. So this is all the way across the state from us. So at its height, the city had a population of 25,000, attracting Old West figures such as Wyatt Earp, Calamity Jan, Seth Bullock, and Wild Bill Hitchcock, who was killed there.
I need you to say Wyatt's last name again.
Earp.
Earp.
I was like,
Have you never seen the show Wyatt Earp?
No.
Oh, people love it.
I don't watch a whole lot of TV.
It's not going to be on any stations that are playing anything worth watching.
Part of my anxiety disorder was that there was always too much to watch, and so I could never make a decision because I never wanted to like
watch the wrong thing.
Yeah, so I just never watched anything, but I'll watch the heck out of some YouTube. So there's that. So the entire town had been designated as a National Historic Landmark District from its well-preserved Gold Rush era architecture. So the settlement of Deadwood began illegally in the 1870s on land which had been granted to the Lakota people in 1868's Treaty of Fort Lemire. The treaty granted ownership of the Black Hills to the Lakota people who considered this area to be sacred. The settlers squatted led oh my gosh, why can't I read? The settlers squatting led to numerous land disputes, several of which reached the United States Supreme Court. I didn't know that the Supreme Court was a thing at this time.
Yeah.
And that just shows what I know about history.
They've been around a good stage. There were 3 branches of government at our country's founding.
Was there?
Let me look up the
This is a really bad
found.
episode to be filming on the 4th of July for me.
When did the Supreme Court? When was the Supreme? Yeah, 1789. Yeah, I was right. Because remember, they were going to have the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch.
I didn't even know the branches of government.
Do you vote?
No, I don't.
Thank God. I love you, but thank God.
I have never voted. Mainly because every single time that I've had the opportunity to vote, I was at a place where they would not allow people out of work to vote. So
so I will say, technically, not at our founding. It was, but basically, because it was part of the U.S. Constitution.
Okay.
Article 3. Article 3 of the Constitution.
Okay.
But, yeah.
You learn something every day.
That would be, because America technically was founded in 1776, right, when we declared war, but then we weren't officially a country till then. We didn't have our government till later. Constitution wasn't drafted until 87.
Yes, I do know that because of Hamilton, the musical.
There you go. Sage, we just need to make a Hamilton for everything about history ever, and you will be the most knowledgeable person.
I would.
I'm going to make one. I'm going to make a Hamilton about, like, the Black Plague, the Avignon Papacy.
Yeah, and then I would learn a lot. So, everything changed after Lieutenant Colonel George Armstrong Custer was ordered to lead an expedition into the Black Hills and announced the discovery of gold in 1874 on French Creek near present-day Custer, South Dakota. The announcement was a catalyst for the Black Hills Gold Rush, and miners and entrepreneurs swept into the area. They created a new and lawless town of Deadwood, which quickly reached a population of approximately 5,000 people. By 1877, around 12,000 people had settled in Deadwood, while other sources put the peak number even at 25,000 in 1876. In early 1876, frontiersman Charlie Utter and his brother Steve led to Deadwood a wagon train containing what they believed were needed commodities to bolster businesses. The town's numerous gamblers and prostitutes staffed several profitable ventures. Madam, okay. Sorry, it's been so long since I did this one, so I was a little bit confused. Madam Mustache and Dirty M were on the wagon train and set up shop in what was referred to as the Deadwood Gulch. Women were in high demand by the miners, and the business of prostitution proved to have a good market. Madame Dora DeFran eventually became the most profitable brothel owner in Deadwood, closely followed by Madame Molly Johnson.
Madam Mustache?
Mm-hmm.
Did she have a mustache?
I have no clue.
Oh.
I'm curious, though.
I'll look it up. Keep going. I'll look it up.
So Deadbed. Apparently, the sun, being in the sun for 2 days, has ruined my brain cells. So Deadwood became known for its lawlessness. Murders were common, and justice for murders were not always fair or impartial.
I have an answer.
What's the answer?
Yes, she had a line of dark hair on her upper lip.
Okay. So the town attained further notoriety when gunman Wild Bill Hitchcock was killed on August 2nd, 1876. Both he and Calamity Jan were buried at Mount Moriah Cemetery, as well as other notable figures such as Seth Bullock. Hitchcock's murderer, Jack McCall, was prosecuted twice, despite the U.S. Constitution's I can't read. Despite the U.S. Constitution's prohibition against double jeopardy, because Deadwood was an illegal town in Indian Territory, non-native civil authorities lacked the jurisdiction to prosecute McCall. McCall's trial was moved to a Dakota Territory court, where he was found guilty of murder and hanged. That was so hard for me to read. What is happening?
Madam Mustache was also a gambler.
I believe that, because
one of the only female card dealers who later opened her own brothel.
I love that. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time reading today.
Patriotism.
So beginning August 12th, 1876, a smallpox epidemic swept through. So many people fell ill that tents were erected to quarantine the stricken. In 1876, General George pursued the Sioux tribe from the Battle of the Little Bighorn on the expedition that ended in Deadwood in early September, known as the Horsemeat March. The same month, businessman Tom Miller opened the Bella Union Saloon. On April 7th, 1877, Al Swearigan, who controlled Deadwood's opium trade, also opened a saloon. He was called the Gem Theater. The saloon burned down and was rebuilt in 1879. When it burned down again in 1899, he left town. I would too at that point.
No, you're not meant to be there, son.
Yeah. So, as the economy changed from gold panning to deep mining, the individual miners went elsewhere to begin to work in other fields. This caused Deadwood to lose some of its rough and rowdy characters and begin to develop into a prosperous town. The Homestake Mine in nearby Lead was established in October 1877. It operated for more than a century, becoming the longest continuously operating gold mine in the United States. Gold mining operations did not cease until 2002. The mine has since been open to visitors.
Cool, I didn't know you could go in.
Yeah, what?
I didn't know you could go into the mine.
Yeah, it's open for visitors, so you can go for tours and stuff like that, which I think would be kind of cool to, like, go do.
Yeah, I would do that.
So, now we're going to move into someone that I actually do know a lot about. And I'm not going to tell you why I know a lot about him. So in 1879, Thomas Edison demonstrated the first successful incandescent lamp in New Jersey, and on September 17th, 1883, Judge Squire P. Romans took a gamble and founded the Pitcher Electric Light Company of Deadwood. He ordered an Edison dynamo wiring and 15 incandescent lights with globes. After delays, the equipment arrived without the globes. Romans has been advertised an event to show off the new lights and decided to continue with lighting, which was successful and garnered further growth for his company. Deadwood had electricity services less than 4 years after Edison commercialized it. Less than a year after commercial services were started in Roselle, New Jersey, and around the same time that many large cities around the country established the service. In 1888, J.K.P. Miller and his associates founded a narrow gauge railroad that was called the Deadwood Central Railroad to serve these mining interests. In 1893, Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad purchased the railroad. In 1902, a portion of the railroad between Deadwood and Lead was electrified but for operation until 1924. In 1930, the railroad was abandoned apart from a portion from Kirk to Fayetteville Junction, which was converted to standard gauge. In 1984, Burlington Northern Railroad abandoned the remaining section. The gold rush attracted Chinese immigrants to the area. Their population peaked at 250. A few engaged in mining, but a vast majority of them worked in service enterprises. A Chinese quarter arose on Main Street as there were no restrictions on foreign property ownership in the Dakota Territory. There was a relatively high level of tolerance of different people existing in this town. Wang Fi Li arrived in Deadwood in 1876 and became a leading merchant. He was a community leader among the Chinese Americans until his death in 1921. The quarter's residents also included African Americans and European Americans. During the 2000s, the state sponsored an archaeological dig in the area to study the history of this community of diverse residents. So now we're kind of shifting away from Deadwood a little bit, and we're going to switch over to Wild Bill Hitchcock because he's kind of why this town is still like very big, to say.
I know about Wild Bill.
But it's crazy that I actually knew a lot about him too.
Why do you know a lot about him?
I don't actually know. It's kind of one of those things where I just know, like, you could probably confirm this for our listeners. I have a tendency to know a bunch of random information that serves no purpose at all.
Yeah, me too.
And
I get it, yeah.
He's one of my things that I know about.
Right.
So. All right. So, James Butler Hitchcock was born May 27th, 1837, and was better known as Wild Bill Hitchcock. He was born in Homer, Illinois, to a farmer and an abolitionist. Hitchcock was of English ancestry. He was the fourth of 6 children. His father was said to have used the family home as a station on the Underground Railroad, which I think
good for him.
I think that's awesome. William Hitchcock died in 1852 when James was 15. James was a good shot from a young age, and he was recognized locally as an outstanding marksman with a pistol. In 1855, at age 18, James fled Illinois following a fight with Charles Hudson, during which both fell into a canal. Each thought they had killed each other. James moved to Leavenworth in Kansas Territory, where he joined Jim Land's Free State Army, also known as the Jayhawkers. It was an anti-slavery vigilante group active in the new territory during the Bleeding Kansas era. While there, he met 12-year-old William Cody, who would later be known as Buffalo Bill, who, despite his youth, served as a scout just 2 years later for the U.S. Army during the Utah War. Which, I think that's really interesting.
That is too. You could literally just be 12 and do anything back then.
Yeah, which is crazy, because, like, if you would have, like, told 12-year-old me that I could have done anything, like, I don't think I'd still be alive.
Yeah, I would just be dead.
Yeah, which, I mean, to be fair, a lot of them did, unfortunately, pass in these battles, but some of the things that, like, kids could do back in the day is crazy. Like, working in factories, I would have never trusted a child to work in the factories that I've worked in.
Like, and some of those kids that, like, you hear about working in factories are literally my son's age.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't even know what to do.
It's because their arms were just small enough to get into the areas, and it's crazy.
He wouldn't know what... I will point to something and say, hey, go get that thing over there that mommy's pointing at. And he's like, huh? Like, how were those kids even following directions?
I don't know.
There were some Montessori kids, clearly.
Maybe they just watched their peers get injured and were like, well, we don't do that.
I guess.
So Hitchcock used his late father's name William in 1858 and the name William Haycock during the American Civil War. Most newspapers referred to him as William Haycock until 1869. He was arrested while using the name Haycock in 1865. He afterward resumed using his given name. Military records after 1865 list him as Hitchcock, but he was also known as Haycock. So in an 1867 article about his shootout with Davis Tutt, his surname was misspelled as Hitchcock. While in Nebraska, Hickok was referred to by one man as Duck Bill for his long nose and protruding lips. He grew a mustache following the McConnell's incident, and in 1861 began calling himself Wild Bill. So I'm going to give a brief overview of his early career. He worked on a farm in 1857. In 1858, he was elected as one of the first 4 constables of Monticello Township. In 1859, he joined a freight company. In 1860, while working for the freight team, he was badly injured by a bear. According to his account, he found the road blocked by a bear and its 2 cubs. He got out of the motorized vehicle and approached the bear and fired a shot into its head, but the bullet ricocheted off its skull, infuriating it. The bear then attacked Hitchcock, crushing his body. He managed to fire another shot, wounding the bear's paw. The bear then grabbed his arm in his mouth, but Hitchcock was able to grab the knife and slash its throat, killing it. He was severely injured with a crushed chest, shoulder, and arm. He was bedridden for 4 months. On July 12, 1861, David McCannels went to the Rock Creek Station office to demand an overdue property payment from Horace Wellman, the state manager. McCannels reportedly threatened Wellman, and either Wellman or Hitchcock, who was hiding behind a curtain, killed him. 2 men with McCannels were also killed. Hitchcock, Wellman, and another employee were tried for killing McCannels, but were found to have acted in self-defense. Hitchcock visited McCannels' widow, apologizing for the killing, and offered her $35, which in 2025 was $1,225.
Did she take it?
Unclear.
Well, I would take it.
I would too.
Even if I wasn't going to forgive him, like, that's still $1,000.
Yeah. So
imagine nowadays someone killing your husband and they show up. Like, someone murdered Dennis and then they're like, do you want $35?
Well, then I just have $35 in a dead body.
It'll cover the cremation of his big toe.
I bit his toe while we were in the pool. He kept kicking water at me, and his foot was near my face, and so I just bit his toe.
Completely reasonable.
And he was like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Stop kicking."
Yeah, stop kicking me, and I won't bite your fucking toe.
So, while in Springfield, Hitchcock and a local gambler named Davis Tutt had several disagreements over unpaid gambling debts and their common affection for the same woman. James lost a gold watch to Tutt in a poker game. The watch had sentimental value to James, so he asked Tutt not to wear it in and warned him to stay away. On July 21st, 1856, the 2 men faced off in Springfield's town square, standing sideways before drawing and firing their weapons. Their quick draw duel was recorded as the first of its kind. Tutt's shot missed, but James struck Tutt through the heart from about 75 yards away. Tutt called out, "Boys, I'm killed," before he collapsed and died. Could you imagine that being your last words?
Boys, I'm killed!
So, James was arrested for murder 2 days later, but the charge was reduced to manslaughter, and he was released on a $2,000 bail and stood trial on August 3rd, 1856. At the end of the trials, the judge told the jury that they could not find that James acted in self-defense if he could have reasonably avoided the fight. However, if they felt the threat of danger was real and imminent, he was instructed that they would apply the unwritten law of a fair fight and acquit it. The jury voted to clear Hitchcock, resulting in public backlash and criticism of the verdict. Several weeks later, a magazine published an interview with Hitchcock that gave the journalist who became known as the creator of the Hitchcock legend under the name Wild Bill Hitchcock. The article recounted the hundreds of men whom James has personally killed and other exaggerated exploits. In September 1865, he became elected for city marshal of Springfield and was recommended for the position of deputy federal marshal at Fort Riley, Kansas. This was during the Indian Wars, in which Hitchcock sometimes served as a scout for General Custer's 7th Cavalry. He was eventually a deputy U.S. Marshal, and he picked up 11 Union deserters on March 28, 1868, who had been charged with stealing government property. Hitchcock was later elected as sheriff of Ellis County, Kansas. Why are we... It's so crazy, the amount of times he gets elected for, like, leadership roles to me.
What's crazy is, once again, back in the day, you could just do whatever the fuck you wanted.
Yeah, and still get a, like, it's so crazy hearing his story. Yeah.
Like, that'd be like if I walked down to the town square, shot somebody, and then turned around and was like, "Can I be mayor?" And they were like, "Yeah, of course."
And it's crazy that this was something that we just, like, let happen. So
we were just scared. We were scared to be next.
So they probably were. So during his first month as sheriff, he actually killed 2 people. The first one The first one was Bill Mulvey, who was galloping through town on a rampage, drunk, shooting out mirrors and whiskey bottles behind bars. The
Oh,
second,
fair though.
the second was Samuel Strahan, a cowboy who was causing a disturbance at the saloon. He was in a shootout with Phil Coe on October 5th, 1871. This was due to an argument about a bull painted with a large erected penis on the side of the saloon. At one point, Hitchcock hired 6 Native Americans and 3 cowboys to put on a show that was called the Daring Buffalo Chase of the Plains. Since the event was outdoors, he couldn't make people pay, so overall, this was just a terrible idea on his part. In 1871 until his death in 1876, Hitchcock had vision problems. On July 31st, 1871, Hitchcock met his soon-to-be wife, Agnes Thatcher Lakes. However, a few years later, on March 5th, 1876, he would leave his now bride to join Charles Utter's wagon train to seek his fortune in gold fields of South Dakota. On August 1st, 1876, Hitchcock was playing poker at Nuhua Man's Saloon Number 10 in Deadwood. A seat opened up at the table, and a drunk man named Jack McCall sat down to play. McCall lost heavily. Hitchcock encouraged him to quit the game until he could cover his losses, offering to give him money for breakfast. McCall accepted the money, and he was apparently insulted. The next day, Hitchcock was playing poker again. He usually sat with his back to the wall so that he could see the entrance, but the only seat available when he joined the game was a chair facing away from the door. He twice asked Charles Rich to change seats with him, but Rich refused. McCall then entered the saloon, walking up behind Hitchcock, drew his gun, and shouted, "Take that," as he shot Hitchcock in the back of the head at point-blank range. Hitchcock died instantly. So this is a little fun fact and doesn't have much to do with our actual story. Hitchcock was playing a 5-card draw when he was shot. He was holding two pairs, black aces and black eights as his cards, which has since been widely become known as the dead man's hand.
Dead man's hand.
So,
yep.
I think I knew that because my mom loves poker. My mom used to play like on Facebook they had the Texas Hold'em. She would play that religiously every day for hours. And now my mom's also claustrophobic, so this is really funny. And she's gonna be really mad that I'm telling anyone this story, but I think it's funny because it's relatable to me at least. So she was playing, and people were coming into the room, obviously, because it's Texas Hold'em. You could enter the room and play. And someone sat down on one side of her at this fake table, and she was like, okay. And so she keeps playing, and someone comes and sits on the other side of her in a virtual game of poker. And she has a panic attack and starts feeling claustrophobic and has to leave the game.
Unbelievably funny on her part.
And I thought it was so funny when she told me that she had a panic attack while playing it. And then she got on, she's never had that happen before, because when I say my mom played this religiously, from the moment that Texas Hold'em was on Facebook games, she played that until she got rid of a PC in 2016. She played it for hours a day.
Crazy.
So.
Sorry, I'm looking at my shipment that was supposed to be here today. And it's not.
Me with my pizza earlier.
I don't know why it didn't arrive. I guess because it's a holiday.
Well, we did end up getting our pizza, and I was able to broke it down. But it took a fucking hour. But I understand that it's the 4th of July. I'm sure a lot of people are ordering pizza.
Probably. We ordered pizza at work yesterday. I'm so tired, dude. Walking around out there in that heat just takes it out of you.
Being in a pool earlier, I was like, I could nap right now. I can't be bothered.
Sitting outside eating my hot dogs, I thought I was going to pass away.
I just want a nice 60-degree weather.
Fall will be here before you know it.
I know. I like to be able to wear a light sweatshirt. I feel the most happiest when I can wear a light sweatshirt outside and just I love sweatpants and sweatshirts though, so.
Right.
I just like when I can sit on my front porch, wearing those and not actively passing away.
Right. That's why I like early fall, where it's cool like that in the morning.
Yeah.
But midday, it can get up to, the upper 70s. Oh, ideal day.
I would like for it to just be 60 degrees all day, and I'd be happy.
Don't know where you get that weather.
I don't either, but I would love for it to be there.
I'll find out.
I think If I had to make a guess, I would say probably somewhere in Canada and or like Washington.
Canada's too cold in the winter.
Yeah, but I think like up like the Pacific Northwest would be like where the most of that would be at. So now we're going to go into John McCall, who was also known as Crooked Nose or Broken Nose Jack, who was most likely born in the early 1850s in Jefferson County, Kentucky. He was raised in Kentucky with three sisters and eventually drifted west to become a buffalo hunter. By 1876, he was living in mining camps outside Deadwood under the alias Bill Sutherland. An, an impromptu court was called in order with the prosecution, defense, and jury made up of local miners and businessmen. On trials the next day in McDaniel's Theater, McCall claimed his actions were in retribution for Hitchcock having previously killed his brother in Abilene, Kansas. McCall was found not guilty after 2 hours. For his second trial, fearing for his safety, McCall soon left the area and headed into Wyoming territory, where he was reportedly bragged at local saloons about killing Hitchcock in a fair gunfight. But Wyoming authorities refused to recognize the results of McCall's acquittal on the grounds of the court, and Deadwood has no legal jurisdiction. Because Deadwood was not under a legally constituted law enforcement of the court system, officials argued that McCall could be tried again for murder. Agreeing that the federal court in Yankton, Dakota Territory declared that double jeopardy did not apply and set a date for retrial.
Bum.
Which sucks for him.
Well, should have kept his mouth shut.
Literally. So, that trial began on December 4th, 1876. No witnesses were called for the defense, and the guilty verdict came in at 10:15 p.m. on December 6th. McCall stated that he had been heavily intoxicated at the time of the murder and did not remember any details of the event. He requested a new trial as well as claimed that his name was not really Jack McCall and that he had changed it when he left home as a child. Judge Granville Bennett did not believe his story and sentenced McCall to death by hanging. At 10:15 on March 1st, 1877, McCall was hanged in a public execution in Yankton at the age of 24. So this is going to lead us into our hauntings. Needless to say, there are probably more deaths and tragic things that have happened here that were not recorded, but also it's native land, so do with that what you will. So the Wild Bill Bar, which is where the killing of James Hitchcock happened, as we know, the death of him was tragedy of its own. We can say that it was an unceremonious end to his exciting life, but we can assume that's why he refuses to leave the site of his assassination. Despite the loss of the original structure and the 1879 fire that devastated Deadwood, though the building was housed casinos and alleged brothels since Wild Bill Bar serves as a tribute to the famed lawman. So these hauntings are from the U.S. Ghost Adventures website. So we have the Fairmont Hotel. It was built to serve as a brothel and saloon. The red facade once invited prospectors from all over. They indulged in sin and drank their earnings away. Some, like Margaret Broadwater, gave in to their demons and put a tragic end to their stories. The Fairmont Hotel is not wanting for spirits. Its empty halls far less so if you consider the ethereal guests who still inhabit there. Broadwater is just one of the several. Her spirit still wanders around the third floor. The Adams House. Often Deadwood's ghost stories veer into horrifying territory with apparitions and phantoms manifestation by the pull of a trigger. The specter of William Emery Adams brings a different aura to the town. Having served the community well during his years as a shop owner and mayor, William is best known for the Adams Museum, which was built in 1930 as a way to preserve the local history. It's not there that William spent his eternity. Rather, it was his former Queen Anne-style home, which has the exterior begging to be a horror movie. Here, he lived comfortably with his second wife, Mary. It's also where he spent his final days before dying of a stroke. As if to ensure his spirit was comfortable, Mary left the home completely untouched. Visitors and paranormal investigators have witnessed moving rocking chairs and the faint scent of cigars. Some even believe William isn't alone in the house and that Mary had returned after her death in 1993. That's going to be me and Dennis. We're just going to haunt a place together.
That'd be cute.
So now we have the Bullock Hotel. Bullock Hotel was Deadwood's first hotel. Though the property has undergone renovations over the years, they haven't driven out the spectral guest. Among them is believed to be the hotel's proprietor, the first sheriff of Lawrence County, Seth Bullock. Though Bullock died off-site on his ranch about 26 miles away, the former sheriff is believed to be one of the hotel's most active haunts. He seems to still run a tight ship. His activity picks up when employees are being inefficient, dishes and glasses move, appliances start, and showers run when no one else is around. Disembodied voices, faint whistling, and a gentle tap on the shoulder have been known to startle guests. I honestly love the stories of people who owned businesses in these towns and then come back to continue to run them.
Yeah, those are always the best.
I love their stories because like you could tell that was something that they loved.
That or they just like are so caught up in it.
Yeah.
Or this, what is it, the stone tape theory, where it's just repetitive. It's not really like conscious.
Yeah. Kind of like autopilot.
Oh, I found you a place to live.
Oh, did you?
That is 60. The Canary Islands in Spain. I've already looked up cost of living and housing. I think it's very affordable for you.
Really?
And I'd love to come visit, so.
My camera's
They're
moving.
beautiful!
My camera's moving because there's a cat who's twerking on the pole that my camera's
Oh.
attached to.
Okay.
So
But I encourage you to look up the Canary Islands.
I will have to because that sounds like my perfect. But did you say
It's
it
off
was
the coast.
Spain?
It's off the it's off the coast
Okay.
of Spain. Temperatures rarely dip below 60 in the winter and rarely top 80 in the summer.
Okay, so it sounds like my perfect place. Because can't do this heat. So now we're going to go to the Mount Moriah Cemetery. Many historical figures tied to Deadwood's complicated past have markers in the 19th century cemetery. Among them is Calamity Jan, who was buried next to the lawman allegedly as a joke, as Bill wasn't too keen of the frontierswoman. A stop at the Mount Moriah Visitor Centers will uncover the other stories of the bygone era, providing further insight into those whose souls may have been trapped in the grounds. Walking the rows of headstones will surely catch the attention of the many spectral figures bound to the cemetery. It's not uncommon to feel a gaze of somebody nearby, even when alone. There's an entire section to children who passed from smallpox and other outbreaks, as well as mass grave sites of unidentified bodies. It's hard to say if one specific ghost is haunting Mount Moriah or if it's many spirits responsible for the spooky laughs and unexplained voices. Our next one is the Lucky Nugget Casino. The empty Lucky Nugget Casino was once the venue of entertainment and chance. Naturally, the casino had an upstairs brothel attracted the cast of characters, from those who sought to find riches to those willing to take them by force. It is the latter that caused the casino to be affected with heavily negative air, as these things were absorbed within the structures. On a quiet day, you can still hear what sounds like the upstairs is an active brothel. You can hear heavy footsteps rattling the ceiling as the ghosts of the lawless return to the spot that once had brought them comfort and pleasures. Shadowy figures have also been spotted standing in doorways, and dealers can be seen hanging around poker tables. Our next one is the Franklin Hotel. The Franklin Hotel haven't suffered the same fate as many of the Deadwood empty buildings. Today it operates as a hotel and casino. It's also a haunting ground for several manifestations, including the man who established the original accommodations over a century ago. Harris Franklin celebrated the grand opening of his namesake hotel in 1903 and was present for all of its highs and lows. Even in death, Franklin keeps a watchful eye over the property. Still wearing his best attire, the hotel's proprietor has been spotted throughout the renovated space. Staff in particular have felt his presence, as if ensuring his hotel is still in good hands. He's a fairly hands-off apparition, preferring to observe rather than interfere, but he will run off some staff members, though.
Oh, like
So,
if they're doing a bad job?
yeah.
That's crazy. We should hire him at my store.
I love that. He's like, hey,
You
I
suck.
see you guys doing this and you guys are doing what I would want, so I'm not going to do anything. But if you're doing a bad job, I'm going to harass you.
That's so funny.
I love
He's
that
like the
for
best
him.
HR guy ever.
He really is. So we have two more places to talk about. And that'll be the end of our last episode or our actual case for
Right.
season 2. And that's so exciting.
Gimme.
So our next place is Salon number 10. It's not Salon, Saloon number 10. Throughout the current Saloon number 10 is not where the original one stood, which what it represents attracts the same energy. A venue catering to Deadwood's contemporary visitors, Saloon number 10 transports traveler back in time. Prospectors are again flocking into the Black Hills, and Wild Bill Hitchcock is alive and well, fully engrossed in a friendly game of poker. Then the shots ring out, and just as they did the day he died, the reenactment of his death likely invokes sorrow and rage from the lawman, who spends much of his time down the road at Wild Bill Bar. He and several other lingering souls watch on as patrons enjoy food and drinks at this themed venue. So they do reenactments.
Crazy. Can you imagine getting murdered and then like 100 years later, they're like, hey, this tourist trap? You get shot in the back of the head a lot there.
Could you imagine watching that every single day? Just being like, well, there I go getting murdered again.
That'd be crazy.
And so
You know, that happened to a guy in Naruto. Vaguely.
and so we're moving to our last place, which is the Brothel Museum, which I would like to go to.
Two of my favorite things.
So, brothels were a frequent business in Deadwood and often the root cause behind many tragic ghosts. The brothel Deadwood offers an interesting and educational look into prostitution and how it impacted Deadwood's community. While there's plenty of fascinating information to gain, it's easy to get distracted by the signs of the spectral presence within the museum. There are reports of unexplained sounds, shadowy figures, and a voice from beyond suggesting there's more to the museum than stories of the past. I think it would be so cool to go and just maybe they have some perfume that the girls wore.
Right, we've talked about the perfume before.
So that was the last haunting for
That's crazy.
Deadwood and our very last episode of season 2 that has to do with cases. That's
crazy.
All of it's crazy. We've at this exact
No. You can come say hi in a minute, okay?
So what are your thoughts on Deadwood?
Deadwood's interesting. Great show, by the way. Great TV show.
Is it a show?
It's a TV show.
I did not know that.
I've never actually, I've only seen like one episode of it my entire life. It was from the early 2000s, I think.
Okay. Maybe
one
of those
CW shows, I believe.
I liked CW shows though.
Supernatural was on there, so.
But
yeah, no, Deadwood, interesting town, basically the same story it's basically the same song and dance that we hear with every, like, gold mining town.
Yeah.
They're kind of what I'm realizing is they're kind of a dime a dozen.
They really are, and...
No, it's hard to stand on.
Yeah, don't stand on the weight, honey.
Sorry, I'm trying to kick a cat out from under my desk because she keeps kicking my camera.
It's okay, my kid is trying to stand on a barbell.
My cat's over here, like...
A barbell?
A barbell.
You can do that. You can do that. I don't care.
Yeah, I think that it's very similar to all of the ghost mining towns that we've talked about, so...
They all kind of have the same puddle of misery.
They really do, and some of the things that happened that we don't talk about are tragic.
Wait, did I see the jet?
Right.
And Sage! I saw the jet!
He's telling you that he saw the jet. We had an F-16 fly overhead.
I saw that. I saw that on Facebook.
He sat outside and watched it.
I love that for him. They used to do that. When I was a kid, they used to have like 4 or 5 fly over town and like do tricks.
It didn't shoot missiles.
It didn't shoot missiles, he says.
Well, that's good. That would be a little bit alarming if it did.
What if it shot missiles at you?
No, it cannot. It can only do it when there's a plane behind it.
Okay. It can only shoot missiles if there's a plane behind it.
I love it. Well, y'all, I think we
Wait,
have...
buddy, do you have any thoughts on Deadwood?
Yeah.
What are they?
Is it?
Tell me what you think.
Good.
Good, he says.
Good.
It's good.
Oh my gosh. So, yeah, guys, if you have been to the Brothel Museum, let us know what that's like. If you have been to Deadwood, tell us any of your ghost adventures. If you are a ghost from Deadwood, what's up?
If you work in a brothel at Deadwood, you're probably also a ghost.
Yeah.
But
let us know your thoughts, opinions, feelings in the comments. If you have ghost stories, we have an email down in the description below that you can email us at. And hopefully we'll see you next week.
What?
Bye.
Bye.